Viva Las Vegas, it's the Sin City Mad Baker from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and today I'm going to show you how to put flowers on wire. There will also be a second part to this video. I'll show you how to put your flowers together to make a basic spray. But before we get started, there are a few tools that you're going to need. First and foremost, you need floral wire. You're going to need the wire itself. I use 22 gauge. People use different types, 24. I think the higher the number, the finer the wire gets. You'll also need a pair of wire cutters, some needle nose pliers. You'll also need a craft knife, and you'll have already needed to leave whatever flowers you have out to dry. Because if they don't dry, sometimes when you put them on the wire, they break apart or they don't stick properly. So I'm going to move the camera so you can see my hands. We'll get started. Now the first thing that you want to do is, and I usually do this the day before, is I take my wire and I cut it. And I already have a few pieces cut that show what it looks like already wrapped with the floral wire. And I also have some of my flowers completed. So that's the project we'll be working on. So I like to smooth out my wire, and then I take my needle nose pliers and I make a small loop. And then I take the needle nose pliers and then I pinch the loop so that it's closed. Now my floral wire, I like to cut mine in half because this is how, I was taught years ago to make flowers. So I'll take a piece of the tape, floral tape that's already been cut, and cut a section off. And then I'm going to wrap the wire. I like to start underneath the loop. So you just tuck your wire underneath the loop, pinch it, and then you start wrapping. And if you can, get that first little loop and wrap the wire around it, the tape around the wire. And then I like to wrap mine at an angle just so that it covers all of the wire. It just stretches pretty good. Okay. And there we go. You can just go back over with your hands and smooth that out, and then trim any extra that you may have. Okay, I have a perfect wire right here. What we're going to do is put this little flower here on the wire. Actually, this flower is not very dry, so this is going to be a great exercise here. Let's see if I can do it. I have a paintbrush and a little bit of water here. So I'm going to take just a little piece of fondant and make a small little ball, enough to cover the tip of the wire. And this is what you're going to attach the flower to. So I usually just dip the tip of the wire in the water and then stick the wire into the little fondant, shaping a little ball around it, covering up all of the tape. And then I pat it down, to form like a flat little section that you can attach the flower to. Now once again, I usually let this dry overnight because if you do these in a hurry, what happens is the wire pushes up through the little fondant. Okay, so let's just imagine for a moment that this is sat out overnight and it's pretty dry. So then what I would do is I would take just a small amount of water and just let it sit just for a second. I mean, you can use egg white powder and water to make a little glue. Some people use Tylos, but I've just found that water works just fine on fondant for me. So okay, I've let that get a little tacky, and then I'll show you how I'm putting this on here. And the cool thing about having like a pearl center is you actually have something, you know, to push on. There we go. And actually you can just give this a second and it'll set perfectly for you. And this is what you end up with, as a little flower, you know, on a little wire. How cool is that? Well, I'm going to put this to the side and let that dry. And then I'll join you for the second video that shows you how to put them all together so that you can make a spray. It's been the Sin City Mad Baker from fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada, and I hope you come back and see me again. And I definitely hope I'll see you on part 2. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.